I'm fortunate enough to follow 5 Times August, his impassioned music. I don't know if you guys saw me over here dancing the whole time. It was amazing. And then I asked them to switch the mood a little and play that entry song for me to come out, because I want to do some really soulful, personal stuff with you today, because my practice as an integrative functional medicine physician is really to bring the soul back to medicine, because I think that's what's missing. And thank you. I have some patients here who came and honored me today, so thank you so much to all of my patients that came out to support me. And family have flown in, friends have flown in, it's been amazing. And I feel like I'm having my Taylor Swift moment since I got to follow 5 Times August. That was like my opening music, huh? So what I want to share with you today is something that I believe every single one of you here deeply understands, and you understand it because you're here, or you wouldn't be here. And as a physician here, I titled my talk, Be Your Own Best Medicine, because freedom is way more than political freedom. You know, freedom has to do with us at our body level, and it has to do truly with cellular freedom. We need to have, basically what we need to do is take back our power that we've given away for so long. I think we've all been indoctrinated into this medical model of sick care. And it's ironic that we call it care when we're not taking care of anybody. And I had to leave as a doctor the system because I learned very early on I wasn't taking care of anybody in that model. It just wasn't working. And yes, do we need it for surgery? Do we need it for emergencies? Absolutely. I'm not dissing it completely. But when it comes to chronic health or preventive health, we really fall short in that. And I'm sure that all of you here either have experienced that yourself or with a loved one. So I wanted to play that soulful music about giving thanks because I genuinely want you to understand that everything we're doing here has to do with our soul level. And healing has to involve our soul level. And we need to be grateful and thankful for this amazing machinery we've been given, our bodies. This is a divine creation that no technology will ever be as good as, period, regardless of what they tell us. We are not broken, we do not need to be fixed, and we do not need to give our power away to medical providers or to the system or to pharmaceutical companies. And my patients here today will attest that I say that to them. You know, don't give your power away to me either, because that's not what this is about. This is about taking back your own power. And so I want to teach you guys something today that's a tool that is so valuable that you can use in your daily life to help bring your body back into a state of nervous system alignment. Because if we don't have nervous system alignment, we don't heal. And I don't care what medicines you're taking, I don't care what therapies you're doing, I don't care what supplements you're taking. If your nervous system is dysregulated, you cannot heal, period. It's that simple. And I'm going to talk to you in just a moment about the repercussions of learning something this powerful, because we, as individuals, have the power to actually shape the energetic coherence of the entire planet. And that might sound like, okay, she's crazy, that's not possible, but we have science to prove it. I'm going to share information, you guys can all look it up and read about it, but we literally have the power to change the world because we are that powerful. And if you stop and think, why during COVID did they want us to be 6 feet apart? Where did that come from? There was no science to talk about 6-foot distancing. That was completely made up. Well, they know this stuff that I'm about to talk to you about. They know this stuff. So they did the 6-foot distancing so that we cannot communicate with each other through this electromagnetic field of our heart. And that is the truth. That is the damn truth. It's disgusting. And when you realize this, it's going to just like change everything for you. So what I'm going to ask you all to do, if you feel comfortable closing your eyes, you may close your eyes. If you don't, then don't. You can do this at home with your eyes closed. But I want you to take one hand and place it over your heart. And what you're going to notice when you place your hand over your heart is there is this subtle shift that you feel when your hand actually touches your heart. Because there's energetic communication between the palm of your hand and your heart. And this breath work is called heart coherence. I'm sorry, I'm getting feedback. I don't know if you can hear that. So what you're going to do is you're going to breathe in and out through that center of your heart space, almost as if you're envisioning yourself breathing in and out through the heart. And whatever your breath cadence is, just try to create a subtle change where you extend the exhalation. So if you breathe into 5, try to exhale to 7. Or if you naturally breathe into 6, breathe out to 8. Whatever, just make that exhale a little longer because that engages the vagus nerve, which then engages the parasympathetic nervous system, and then you're in more of a state of rest and digest. And while you're doing that, I want you to think about something you're deeply grateful for, or something you're really joyful for, or something that you feel like you want to have compassion for, but something deeply meaningful to you. And just continue to breathe and think about that thing that you're grateful for and feel that, like feel the energy of that gratitude. And I wanted to teach you this technique because you can do this on your own at home when you start to feel nervous and dysregulated or angry. You can teach this to children very easily, which helps them calm down. But the greatest message here and why I want to share this technique with you is there is a collaborative project going on between the HeartMath Institute and Princeton University. It's been ongoing over 15 years, and it's called the Global Coherence Initiative. And there's actually an app that you can download, and I just signed up to do a group for us today, those of us that are here today. And the name of the group that I called it is It Begins With Us. That's a private group for members like us who are here today. And I'm going to ask you to join me in this coherence work together. And the code, if you're interested in doing it, is Indigo, INDIGO with a capital I, Ocean, all one word with a capital O, 31. And I'm over in the corner there, and I can give you information if you want to do it. But HeartMath and Princeton University came together over 15 years ago, and they put random number generators across the globe. It's in about 70 different countries right now, and there's over 150 different countries involved in this initiative. And what they found is that when a group of people come together and they breathe in this coherent state, and when you bring that frequency down to about 0.1 hertz, our body heals at that frequency. And that's the same frequency that the Earth's electromagnetic force is also operating on. So not only do we become aligned with our own physiology in a profound way, but we also become aligned with the Earth. And it is so, I'm getting the chills talking about this because it is so profound. And what they found is when people breathe together like this, it actually changes the consciousness of countries that are distant from us. It's like distance healing, which people used to always laugh at and say that's a bunch of nonsense, it's made up, but it's not, because we live in this coherent fabric of this, physical quantum world that we live in. So when President Obama became president, these random number generators all changed across the globe when he became president. He's the first Black American president. It was a big deal. When 9/11 happened, all of these random generators changed in conjunction with that energy from us as humans, feeling the feelings that we're feeling collectively. And this is the stuff they don't want us to know. because that means we have power that can actually be kind of scary when you think about it. Like, we collectively have this power to change things. They've done studies where they showed cities where people came together and literally sent this love out to this city that was having issues with violence and crime. And when the people got together and sent their energy toward that city, the crime disappeared and the violence went away. Now, the criminals didn't know that was happening. They had no idea. So my message to you today is that I want you to remember, actually re-remember, because we were actually born knowing. We literally were born knowing this. But society, parents, whoever, the government or schools, I forgot to mention that. That's like the worst culprit. They have all programmed us to believe that we're so fragile that we can't survive without them, whoever they are. And we have all the power to heal. And we have the power to heal each other. So it's so important that we as individuals actually matter. And I know I'm guilty of this too. I remember, thinking, well, who cares about me? I'm just little old me. Like, I don't really matter. And so I'm guilty of forgetting this too, trust me, because it's still a deep pattern of conditioning that's been ingrained in my psyche for the last almost 60 years of my life. So it's okay. We have to give each other grace and give ourselves grace when we start to forget, because that's what they want. They want us to be fearful, and they want us to think that we can't control our own selves or our own destiny for that matter. And so I think this is just such a beautiful thing for today's event, to just remind everybody here that, number one, we matter as individuals. And if we start to practice this behavior on our own, our family and our friends are going to feel a shift without us saying a word. We don't have to announce anything. They will feel that shift. And then when our families feel that shift, our communities feel the shift. And you picture like dropping a little pebble and the ripple effect that comes out of the water. That's exactly what we're doing. And then we're reaching the state level, we're reaching the country level, and before you know it, we're reaching people overseas. And I think, this message I just want to have of, we can do this gently. We can create change without marching forward in battle, without pitchforks and fire. We can do this with love and with compassion and with this love for humanity, for this gift that we've been given to be alive today on this planet. And I want each and every one of you to know that this is not an accident, that those of us here in this space have come together today as we did. Our trajectories in life have all coalesced here today for a reason. We're meant to be together because we're the way showers. We're the ones who are awake. We're the ones that get it. And so many people don't get it. And that's heartbreaking. I've lost family, I've lost friends throughout the last 5 years because of our differences of opinion. And that's devastating, because it's not about politics and division of, left versus right. It's so much more than that. It's about being human on this planet today. And I think we've forgotten that. I think we've forgotten what it is to be truly human, because we've lost sense of how amazing we are as creative beings. And we're the only animal on the planet that has the ability to bring our heart and our brains into coherence. We're the only ones that can do that. And we can do that whenever we choose to do that. So I want to thank you all for being part of this and for actually being here to even listen to me today, because if I can actually impact one person's life, that's enough for me, because I have seen the power of this in my own life, And I've seen the power of this in my own patients. I have seen miraculous healing occur when people shift their mindset and take back their power and stop giving their power away to everything and everybody else. And so one other thing I wanted to mention, because this is important too, I just learned about this at a conference last weekend. This Medical Freedom Amendment, if you go to the website, themedicalfreedomamendment.org, and I'll say it again, themedicalfreedomamendment.org, it's talking about a bill that is out there wanting to change what's happening here with medicine, where we want to give back the power to the people to choose the type of healing modalities that they want to have. Because people are stuck of being stuck in a broken system. They're sick of it. So please look at that. And the website you can also look at is called the, capital N as in Nancy, capital H as in Harry, capital F as in Frank.com, /campaign. And because I just learned about this, I haven't visited it yet myself to know if there's a place you sign up and sign as a petition. I'm going to actually look into that. But I was excited to bring it here today because I know you guys are all about freedom. And I really want to make sure that when you're talking about freedom, you're not just talking about politics, that you're talking about medical freedom, medical sovereignty, and being your own best medicine. So thank you very much.